Oh my god. What's up, gents? DirtBag Gaming here, the channel for casual raiders. We did Doom Tower Hard 120. So it took, I can't even tell you how long. We did a stream for 4 hours one time trying to beat this dragon. I tried 15 different combinations, geared out almost every single person. We even geared out the new dwarf fusion event that we had recently. So I got him up to 60, put really good gear on him, got full masteries, booked him out, and it didn't work. It might work now because we kind of have like the solid team that we can interchange one person in it. So if you're looking at the team now, we're going to go over everything. We're going to go over what to focus on, what the gear you need, the speeds, the defense, HP, literally everything you need to know about this boss. And we're going to kind of try and keep it as simple as possible so you don't make the same mistakes that I made. All right, so if you guys are clicking on this video, hit subscribe. We're about to get to 1,000, so appreciate you, fellow Dirtbag Nation. Join the Discord if you haven't already. We give away free account takeovers. We take over some people's accounts during the streams. A lot of stuff's going on. So join the Dirtbag Nation. So if you guys are watching this, it's literally just going through the ads. We have two videos that recorded. I did this last night on my phone, and I didn't record it on the phone, so I had to go back in, redo it 2 times with the team that I used last night. And I didn't even do clan boss yet because some of the gear that I used for my clan boss team is now on this team. So I have to literally record this so that way I can go do my clan boss. But the ads are pretty simple. Just get through the ads. Once you get to the boss, we're going to pause it and I'm going to explain to you what you need to do first in the boss. Okay, now if you're looking at this team, this is the right side of the team is really what's needed, and then the left Warlord is what's interchangeable. So Warlord is really here just because I have him geared up. He's pretty quick. He brings some heals to the team, and we're not doing the one method where you kill the mage as fast as possible and you reset your cool like that. That's you need him for that thing, but for this, it's kind of just he's a body, which again I'll explain in a little bit. So let's bring this up. We're getting through the ads. This is a recorded video, so I can like fast forward, pause, do whatever we need to do. Come on, just finally. All right, so this team doesn't do a lot of damage. If you notice, like they don't do a ton of damage, which is going to be our focus here. Is we're going to slowly burn down the boss. Okay, so now we're at the boss. So Warlord's just fast enough to go before the boss. The boss's speed is 250. So if you have all of your champions over 250, you're good, right? I don't have that. He's the only one over 250. So we brought him in. He's doing his A3, which resets his cooldowns up top. He spawns his ad automatically, and then when he attacks you, he resets. He puts that block cooldown up for you. So that's kind of why Doom Priest is so key for this team, and she provides heals. She gets rid of cooldowns, and notice everybody has a healing buff on them because of Jarek. Yeah, Jarek. So he has a passive, which doesn't need to be cooldown, right? So he has a passive. Anybody who takes 20% HP loss gets a healing buff. So he provides so much healing for this team. We leveled him up for this specific boss, which kind of sucks. But now we're going to get into it. And obviously Doom Priest seals it off. The key thing that I didn't notice, I have to give a shout out. I have to look it up. So shout out to somebody from my clan who posted in Discord this team. Actually, let me find it. Okay, so if you're watching this, shout out to Wolverinka from 77. Shout out to you. So they posted this clan boss team, and I had the champion. So I'm like, all right, we got to do it. He said everybody was over 251 speed. I don't have everybody over 251 speed, but the main thing is stalwart gear. So start saving up that stalwart gear because we're gonna have to use it for this boss. But let's keep going. So, guy up front, free champion. Sile, free champion. Jareg, epic. Doom Priest, epic. Warlord, you don't need. You can replace with Vrask is a very good one. You can replace with Iron Brago, I think. I think he'll be a good champion to replace Warlord with. Or really anybody else that can bring heals passively or hits and heals the team. So after this, we'll go over some champions that we can replace. But this strat, guys, is we're focusing on the 2 tanky warrior dudes. We're letting him, let me pause this. We're letting him take down the mage because we don't have enough DPS to kill the mage. There's absolutely no way I'm going to kill the mage. So this is more of like a tank and spank and burn, tank and burn. This is a tank and burn build. That's what we're gonna name it. This is the tank and burn build to burn as many ads as possible and stay alive. All right, so Drag is there for the decreased attack. Sile's there to heal and res if we have somebody die. The HP burn dude up front is free, so you definitely need him up front for the accuracy. And then Doom Priest is there to heal and take off buffs. And then the guy all the way to the left, just bring whoever you can to heal or do whatever, and you should be good to go. But look at the rolls. So he is only targeting the people that don't have burns on him, right? Sile is slowing the ads down, and Drag is only going after the boss. He only puts up the decreased attack, and that is it. He's there to bring the passive heals if we take too much damage. Look at that. He even has the Fury buff that he puts on himself if there's 2 or more ads when he spawns more ads, because we don't have enough DPS to take him down. So that's going to happen. And if you can survive it, which we did, you should be able to heal from that, okay? And then when he sacrifices the mage, you get hit twice. So you have to basically be able to survive 2 hits with that rage up, and you'll be good to go. Like it's actually easy if you can survive 2 hits from that. If you can't, you need to re-gear, get faster, and that's really it. Just re-gear, because this was all about gearing this boss. So Sile stuns the ads, which is pretty cool. And again, Drag is only doing the boss, but he actually misses so many freaking times. Look at that. Look at that. I was almost about to quit because we lost Warlord, which again, Warlord isn't even needed. But we lost Warlord, and I was like, you know what? I got Sile heal. Let me try and res him. And that's kind of what we do. So Sile has like 450 accurate or resistance, so she's able to res. And then look, Drag just goes back in, does decreased attack, and then we kind of heal back up. So he's sacrificed. Now he hits twice, 1, and then 2. We survived. I think Sile, she took a little bit more damage because she had that shared healing with Warlord. Warlord is not in Stalwart gear. That's probably why he dies so much. So if I were to redo this, I'd re-gear Warlord with Stalwart gear, or bring somebody else who has Stalwart gear, which we'll show you in a little bit. So again, we're only targeting the warrior ads, and once we start taking them down, it becomes a lot easier. So there you go, 1's down. Now we're starting to focus on the other one. He's only putting the HP burn on everybody that doesn't have an HP burn. He doesn't usually have to target the boss because the boss gets it from hitting him, but he's usually targeting the ads that don't have HP burn. There you go. Doom Priest has Relentless gear, so she actually takes a couple extra turns sometimes, which comes in clutch because she heals every single time she takes an extra turn. Now look, he's putting up the HP burn on that one. Warlord runs up, does 3,000 damage. Like, he's honestly useless in this. Decreased attack on the boss, that's all Drag does, and then that's literally it. So we're about 6 minutes into this fight, and we're not even halfway done yet. So notice I'm doing this manually, guys. Target the HP burn with people that don't have HP burns. Kill the warrior ads 1 at a time, and ignore the mage. And again, as you're doing that, you're going to get hit twice every single time. But if you can survive getting hit twice, this is the strat. All right, so now look, the left guy's almost dead. He has an HP burn on him. We can kill him, but he doesn't do enough damage. Drag's going up. Even if there's a decreased attack already on the boss, go after the boss. Trust me, because that extra cooldown when he does 2 attacks is going to come in so handy. So we didn't get to place the HP burn. We actually had really bad RNG this run because we missed HP burns a lot. We missed the decreased attack a lot. And sometimes if you don't have the decreased attack up, you notice your team just melts. All right. So Warlord going up, doing his 3,000 damage, doesn't do anything. I honestly don't know why he's here. And that's really it. So he does decrease attack and reduce turn meter, so Sile's actually really good. Doom Priest proc Relentless. He runs up, does decreased attack, didn't get it. Warlord does his 3,000 damage. Sacrifices. Look, so now there's only 1 ad up. So as we're taking down the ads, about a quarter of the way to half is where it starts to get a lot easier because most of the ads are usually mostly down. And if you could, again, target one guy, get his HP down pretty low, he summons ads, that one ad dies, and then you focus on the other warrior ad. But look, we don't have a decreased attack up because Drag is misses so many times. And he's got pretty good accuracy. He's got his mastery. He's like, okay. So Doom Priest does her thing, runs out, decreased attack, got it, sweet. But look at it, it takes so much less damage with that decreased attack. Who doesn't have HP burn? This guy's about to go, so we're going to try and put it on him. We got him. You want to look at the turn meters too, because if the turn meters are almost up, you kind of want to throw it on that ad, so that way once he goes, he already takes HP burn. But look at this, I'm going to pause this. So we're about 3/4 of the way there. The full team is up. Sile's doing really good. Jirag's doing good. Doom Priest, like again, she heals she doesn't have Stalwart, so she takes a lot of damage. But with her Relentless proc, she's able to kind of heal back up. We have decreased attack and HP burn on the boss, so we're going good. Let's try and kill this ad right here. Who doesn't have HP burn? This guy doesn't have HP burn. Now he's got HP burn. So sacrificed, does 2 hits. Doom Priest dies. We got Sile though, so hopefully Sile's resistance is up. It is not, so she has 1 more turn of that. Stun the boss. Now, we basically are at the point where we don't need Doom Priest, but we still want to res her back up as soon as possible. Because then we get this crap right here. Block cooldown, so now I can't even res her. There you go, block cooldown. And I think Sile has a lot of resistance too, so you're going to even need more than what I have. Let's put some HP burns up. We're almost over. Like if we survive like 2 more hits, it's basically done. Jirag, decreased attack, missed. Couple more HP burns. Let's get some HP burns on the boss. There's 2 more HP burns out. If we get 1 more HP burn, we win. Decreased attack, missed. HP burn, doesn't matter. Dead. Cool. So that was the first team at 10 minutes 12 seconds. That was the best time. But 188 turns was from my phone last night. But look at that, it's pretty consistent. At 189, let's see how much. This guy did 4.8 mil. Sile did 1.5 million of healing, and Doom Priest did 1.2 million of healing with a Relentless. So Sile is basically the main healer here. What's his name? The shout out to the guy last night is what I changed because I didn't have Sile on this team. Sile was not Wolverinka. Wolverinka basically showed Sile in there, and she's the key. Right, her and Doom Priest, and obviously Jirag. These 3 right here are just so good together with healing. And obviously Drexar is doing all the damage. So now, who we're going to throw in here? Nurag. I saw another video with Nurag in this, and we have Nurag, and we'll show you why Nurag is so good at the end. But Nurag we actually re-geared. So he used to be our DPS PvP champ, like tanky PvP champ, but we had to re-gear him, of course, and we put Stalwart gear on him. And we just made him have as much HP as possible, so that way we use his passive, which takes 15% less damage if you have a buff on you, or 25% less damage if you don't have any buffs on you, which 25% less damage is pretty good on a boss that hits you really freaking hard. So if you get the decreased attack, if you miss that, hopefully Nurag's passive will be able to save you. And yeah, so before we did this without the Stalwart gear, he just didn't have enough HP, he died. So you kind of need that Stalwart gear on him because it just reduces so much of the AoE damage. He used to do a lot of damage too. Like when I brought him the first time, he was hitting like for 20, 30k. Now he's hitting for like 7k because he has like nothing on him. So let's get to the boss. We're going to fast forward this. This is just super slow through the ads, but you got to get through it. All right, so now we're at the boss. And again, we're not fast enough, so the boss goes first. Watch. First. Does the AoE, but look, almost no damage. Now Nurag does a lot with that because if you don't have a buff on you, you take 25% less damage, but Jirag puts up buffs, and sometimes so does Doom Priest with the crit, right? So she puts up a buff. Nobody else puts up buffs. So you're not going to be like always having buffs on your champs. So right now Nurag doesn't have a buff. So when he does, the AoE, we take 25% less damage just with him on the team. So when I was saying you don't need Warlord, you don't need Warlord, right? He's just a champion that was just there for us. He didn't no damage, didn't really heal. So if you can replace Warlord with another champion that could help you with this fight, or do a crap ton of damage and survive, maybe like a Rotos. But I don't know if we don't have if we don't have Nurag or somebody else that can benefit with the team, who else can we bring in? Vrask. Like I said, Vrask can run up, heal with his A1. The other dude that we soloed the Scarab King with, Bannerlord's guy, we'll go over him. I think he can do it. But same strat, guys. Same strat. He's only running up, hitting the boss with his A1. She is providing the heals. He's doing some damage, so he does okay damage, a lot more than Warlord. He's doing like 3-4 times more than Warlord. And then he's only putting up the HP burn on champions that don't have HP burn. She does decrease turn meter and decrease speed. He only attacks the boss, and Doom Priest does whatever Doom Priest does. So we're taking less damage because of Narag. Only attacks the boss. And he doesn't have any like War Master, so he doesn't really do any damage. He's literally there just to put up decreased attack and heal the team. Stun some ads. He sacrifices. How much damage do we take? Not a lot. Now, she's only taking 15% less damage because she has buffs. Anytime somebody has a buff, you take 15% less damage. If you don't have a buff, you take 25% less damage. So you kind of don't want buffs on you unless like you're about to die, then you need the healing buff, right? But this team doesn't really rely on buffs. And the only debuffs we need are decreased attack and HP burn. That's this whole fight. We're already halfway down, and we're 8 minutes in. So Narag, again, is another champion that you definitely could bring out of the vault, put some decent gear on him, bring him in, have a lot of HP, and then boom, his passive will be there for you, and you don't even need to have it booked. People that have passives and you don't need books for, perfect. I think everybody else here is booked besides Doom Priest. Drexar is not booked, and Narag is not booked. But Drag is booked because it's A1, and Salo is booked because she's amazing. So this one, I think you guys can get it. You can understand it. We're already about 16 minutes into the video, but this is basically the strat. Actually, we're running out because I want to show you like Narag. He's taking up so much damage for the team. Runs up, does some more damage. Like 11k is not bad. Like you saw Warlord, he was doing 3,000. So when you have somebody bringing a lot more damage and helping the team more than Warlord did, I think that's going to benefit a lot. And I don't think he dies this turn. Yeah, I think he's tanky enough to survive the hits. Obviously with Stalwart gear. Stalwart takes 30% less AoE damage, and with him in there, minimum 15%, so it's like 45% less damage you're taking from his AoE hits. I think that's a really good combo. Drag doing his decreased attack. Narag running up, block cooldown. I guess that helps with the ads. I haven't really paid attention, so we'll see if he does anything. Yeah, it doesn't do anything, so you can't block their skills. Because I guess their A1 does the decreased defense. But again, having Doom Priest as fast as you can, with a lot of HP, she's able to go multiple times, proc Relentless multiple times, and heal your team up. Like, I think it was this run where she proc 3 times in a row, and she was almost dead, and she just healed back up 21% of her HP. I think it's 7%. 21%? Yeah. Or it might be 7.5%. He runs, literally all he does is just punch the dragon in the face. He's an angry lizard. He looks really cool too. Like when I was running him, like this is the first time I ever used him. When I was running him, he just looks really cool. Just this huge, like there's one relentless proc. All right, so he proc twice. She does her AoE, stun some people. So we're about 75% of the way there. 11 minutes in. So I think the first run was faster. I might have paused this. I'm not sure. Because I was working before I was making the video. So all right, so we're at the end. Let's fast forward. So obviously we made it to this part. HP burns, literally doing all the damage. Narag didn't die, which is cool. Finally at the end, I think 1 or 2 more HP burns. Relentless. HP burn the other ad. You have to kill the ads. Like if you just ignore the ads, I don't think you're just gonna get so hard from his Eternal Dragon buff. But as long as you start killing the ads, halfway done, you're pretty good. There you go, 12 minutes, 59 seconds, 185 turns. There you go, fastest run right there with Narag, whatever the hell his name is. All right, so let's get back into the game and let's go over everything we need to know. All right, so this set we need a lot of. Okay, so honestly, all right, so pause. We spent over 40 million silver on this boss. We leveled up this guy to 60. What's his name? This guy to 60, and even Mausoleum Mage to 60. Mausoleum Mage was the worst one I did because he not good for this boss. But we leveled up so many people. We spent so much silver. We re-geared all of my champions. And the biggest thing that you need to do is stalwart gear. So good thing we had a lot of stalwart gear saved up. But this gear, 30% less damage taken from AoE attacks. He has no masteries. But the masteries you're going to want, like he didn't have any stalwart gear. He's in my PvP team. But the masteries you're going to want, not that guy. Who did we remaster? I think Jirag. We remastered. Yeah, so these are the masteries you're going to want for Jirag. But we got decreased champions damage received by 8% when hit with a critical hit. Then you have increased amount of healing. So when you have passive healings coming in, you're increasing the amount of healing, like from Doom Priest and Sile. More resistance. Remove buffs if you take damage. Resistance. Take less damage from specific champion. Counterattack, he definitely needs the counterattack, and just a little bit more resistance. You want to try and resist the decreased defense from the ads, but you don't need to physically have so much resistance for the boss. You want to have your skills on cooldowns. That's why having guys with A1s are very good. And then accuracy, so that way he can land his decreased attack on his A1, and hopefully it lands for 3 turns. All right, this not really needed, but it's it's good for the ads. He doesn't really attack the ads, and then just increase accuracy. All right, so let's start at the top, specifically the champion's gear, so you guys know what we have, and then we'll go over the masteries for everybody. So first at the top, this guy, he does the most damage. You can gear him out to get down to increase accuracy, or if you want to get a little bit more resistance, or if you want him to do War Master procs. So probably going down to War Master because he is doing a lot of the damage, but also you want him to land his accuracy buffs. So getting this Master Hexer, this landing the buffs, and possibly even increase accuracy. Like most of the damage you're doing is from the HP burns, so you just need to make sure you land the HP burns. Skills, not booked out at all, so you don't need to book out the skills. And then the artifacts, literally Stalwart. So Stalwart and HP set, we wanted to get his HP up higher. We started this fight before around like 40k HP. He died way too fast. So we got him up to 69,000 HP, 2680. We actually took off some defense from our defense champions and put more HP on them. So the more HP, the more they're going to get healed for from our healing champions. So we took out some defense, but we gave it a lot more HP. 232 speed. That was the speed that we were aiming for 250, but we got up to 232. I ran out of speed glyphs. Like we don't have any more speed glyphs. No crit damage. Resistance, he wasn't there for resistance. He's literally there to get hit and survive. And then 259 accuracy. His aura gives 70 accuracy. So 259 plus the 70, that's 329. So 330 roughly accuracy I had, and he was landing his HP burns. All right, but we got HP, I believe, HP chest piece, HP gloves, speed boots with accuracy. This we have accuracy substat HP. So usually you see defense on this guy, but as much HP as I possibly can get. HP, accuracy, obviously for that with HP and speed substats. Let me pause this. All right, sorry, we had to sell the gear. All right, but yeah, accuracy on the banner because you want him to get as much accuracy as possible. If you need more accuracy, you can exchange this if you have enough HP for an accuracy set with speed. Accuracy and speed, I think perception would be very, very good for Direct-Star. But again, free champion, just make sure you're doing your 3-3, logging in every single day and getting that spot because he's definitely worth it in the late game. He's very good for the Ice Spider when that was around, and now obviously he's good for the Doom Tower for these champions as well. Next champion is Sile. We actually re-geared her. She was in a stun set, but instead we had to put her in a stalwart set, so that way she took a lot less damage, and also she's just so tanky that she heals so much. So the masteries, we didn't change it. This is our PvP masteries to get as much resistance as possible. She puts out these when she stuns, which is good for the waves, good for the ads, because then you can heal your guys up if you're hitting them. This just heals a little bit more. We got down to this to land the decreased speed and the decreased turn meter. This gets more resistance, heals. Like again, this is just for my PvP, increase turn meter a little bit, but also I would go with these masteries if you're like building up for the first time. Dregs. We'll get into that. So Sile, what is she really good for? Obviously her passive heals all allies by 10% of their max HP at the start of each round. That's why you want your guys to have as much HP as possible. Also place a 30% increased speed on a random ally for 2 turns. That's pretty cool. That just gets it. This one, Revised Champion, obviously you should know what that does. This one is if the ads are up, like save it if there's all 3 ads. If there's only 1 ad, you probably don't want to be doing this. Just wait till like there are 2+ ads up, then you want to do the A2. Then A1 has the decreased speed, which you want to do in the ads, and the decreased turn meter. So only on the ads you want to be doing the A1. And then obviously this, I believe we changed it from defense to HP, but HP chest piece, HP gloves, speed boots, resistance on the banner with speed, defense, 20% defense, not bad, but speed, you definitely want as much speed as possible. Defense and HP, pretty good HP roll right there. So total stats on our Sile, 69,000, 3,200 defense, 224 speeds, pretty similar actually to Drexstar, I just noticed, but a lot more resistance. We need her to be resistance because we need her to resist sometimes in case somebody dies. That way she can res. If she can't res, she's not as, she's really good. But we want her to res in case somebody dies, which it came in the first match. We had to res somebody twice, and this one we didn't have to res anybody. But accuracy is not hugely needed for this boss, so you don't really need as much accuracy as, let's say, PvP or other dungeons, all right? But Stalwart set, again, decreasing the damage taken by 30%. All right, who else do we have? Nurag. So he was the first one we subbed out. Again, Stalwart set. His total stats, 57,000. So I guess the goal here is to get above 57,000 HP on all of your champions. 60, 70k would be way better. 2,800 defense. He's got 2,000 attack for some reason. He's very slow, actually. I noticed when I was gearing him last night, he was very, very slow. You definitely want him to have a lot. I mean, honestly, he's there really just for his passive. Like, if he can run up and hit somebody pretty hard, good. But he's there just to kind of decrease the damage that your enemies are taking. Not a lot of crit, not a lot of crit damage. 282 resistance, not... Again, we want to get over that 250, 260 resistance for the ads, because the ads are placing the decreased defense. And 121 accuracy, not huge. We have, I think, HP. We just want as much HP and speed. Defense, but HP, I believe. Yeah, HP, and then Stalwart set with speed. So notice I think everybody has HP gloves and HP chest piece. Masteries, we went down to the resistance tree to get a little bit more resistance. No tier 6 here, but counterattack and more resistance here. All right, and then skills, nothing booked, but we're really just taking them for this. Who else? Here we go, Drag. So let's go Doom Priest. Doom Priest, we actually have no Stalwart, is actually relentless, and when she procs, she just heals up the entire team. It's freaking awesome. So you can get away with her in Stalwart, but I just think like if you can do it with Relentless, do it with Relentless, because you're gonna use her in Relentless almost everywhere in the game. I just changed her recently when I watched the Chofi's video on her, I think, with her in Relentless, and it was like, I think Ash has her in Relentless too, but very, very good champ. Used a lot. Like, who the hell knew that she was gonna be so good? Like now, you know, she was like in my vault forever, never really used her, and now I use her all the time with Green Infinity Clan boss, Doom Tower, all these bosses. She's so good. All right, so what do we have? Total stats, we have 73,000 HP, 3,300 defense. Again, she's in our clan boss team, so we do need a lot of defense. 240 speed. If this could be 250, you just want to go as much as possible, honestly. Not a lot of crit, not a lot of crit damage, not a lot of resistance, and no accuracy. All you need for her is HP, speed, and maybe some defense. HP, speed, defense. That's it. You don't care about her A2. If she doesn't do her A2, great. We don't want it to do A2. All we want it to do is run up, hit, go as many times as possible, and Relentless definitely helps. So we have HP, speed, HP, defense speed, speed with HP, and then we have speed, HP speed, and lots of speed on. That's a really, really, really good shield. I think we have HP, no, defense, HP, and then defense with HP and like really good banner as well. So that's kind of what our Doom Priest is. Skills you don't really need, it's whatever, but really this is why you're bringing her. Heals all allies by 7.5% of their HP, removes one, like such a good passive. And if she procs Relentless, it removes 2 buffs or debuffs, heals for 15% of the HP. If she procs 3 times, that's 21.5%. Like it's amazing, right? And that's it for her. Masteries, we did go down to War Master. Sure, she does do decent amount of damage. This is our clan boss build, but she does do a decent amount of damage because of the War Master. So you want her to be targeting the ads, really just to kind of like help kill the ads. But you can also put some more damage into her if you get more crit rate on her. You can at least crit almost every single time on the ads because then the ads are all void. So there you go, pretty simple. And then Drag. So he's the guy we just leveled up recently. I saw Stu's video on him with obviously this boss, and with his skills, this passive right here. I was so trying not to level up another 60. I wanted other champions to work, they just didn't work, and he just brings so much to the table with this passive. So it plays the 15% continuous heal buff on an ally for 1 turn whenever they lose 20% at max HP. This could happen multiple times. So if you lose 20% and then another 20%, you actually get 2 continuous heals on you, which is broken, right? For this boss, it's so good to have this. We don't really care about this. We don't want him doing this, so we don't want his like resistance to be super high. This doesn't really matter, and then this is all we're doing. So you want to book this out, because if you miss the attack, you're probably going to die if you miss it multiple times. We missed it a couple times, but we have a good enough team to survive. But 10, 25, an extra, so about 60% plus the mastery, bringing it down to 65% with sniper, I believe, this one. 65% chance to land on 1 attack, the decreased attack, and then this lets it go for 1 more turn potentially, and then obviously a little bit of resistance. You definitely want the counter attack. Sometimes that procs and you actually get to the land decrease attack, and we kind of already went over these. You just want accuracy. So what are his artifacts? We got accuracy for this with speed. We have HP, HP, HP speed, HP speed, accuracy, speed, and then stalwart set again. Total stats, we're up to 89,000 HP, 2,200 defense, 243 speed, 239 resistance. This probably could be a little bit higher, and then 300 accuracy. Again, accuracy aura from Drexar, so he's up to like 378, which again, you need to land the decrease attack. So get over 300 accuracy and you should be good. But 16 all the gear. Again, this is very gear intensive, okay? I think that was all of our champions. Nurag, so let's just count. We got, oh, Warlord. So Warlord, again, if you want to do this, you can. We haven't booked out because he's a very good champion. This just down to accuracy with some increased speed. Artifacts, speed, HP, like, again, not made for this boss. He just happened to work because he's such a good champion. Then accuracy. So his total stats, 84,000, 2,100, 278 speed, and then 400 accuracy. Not a lot of resistance. So if you want him a little bit more resistance, you can kind of bring those heals in. So if you want to have him like over 380, 400 resistance, he can actually provide this for you. So that way you can actually heal your team as well during the fight. All right, and then Drexar, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so that's everybody. And then Nurag is somebody that you can replace. Now, who can you use besides these guys? I think this guy could actually be clutch, just to have as much HP as possible. We're missing the chest piece, but have maybe 80,000 HP, 240, plus speed. 85 to 100% crit, pretty good crit damage, and you don't really need resistance on this guy, I don't think, because you want his cooldowns to be off. We don't want him to lane this, we don't want him to lane this, but we want him to go up and hit anybody. So the Masters, you could definitely want to go down to War Master because his skill, he attacks, heals 25% of the damage inflicted, also places a shield buff equal to 10% of their max HP for 2 turns. So basically he's gonna have a shield, so he's gonna get hit less. Also, he's going to heal everybody by 25% of the damage inflicted. So you want him to hit really, really hard, and especially War Master, he's gonna be able to hit hard and heal up the team pretty good. So I think Lugan, gearing him back up, taking him out of the vault, could be very good for this boss instead of Warlord or Narag. So test him out. I think he'll be good. Maybe in a Stalwart set. So again, anybody you have, throw the Stalwart set on, and then 2-piece for this Immortal set. So 2-piece Immortal set with HP, and then Stalwart and everything else. Iron Brago, I think the same thing. His passive right here increases the defense of everybody by 10%. He provides decreased attack. He provides this. So I would definitely go resistance on him because you want him to do the decreased attack, resistance, accuracy, and then also increases your defense on your champions as well. So he could be another guy if you want to kind of bring in instead of Narag because of his passive. So he's able to just bring a lot more defense to the your team. But go with the Stalwart set again. Masteries, War Master, he does do damage. So he'll be able to help take down the ads pretty quickly. So you can bring in Iron Brago. Who else? This guy was testing out just all HP champions, but he just doesn't really bring anything to the table. Like there's no buffs to steal. His passive is only for himself. Like he's not bad, but he's not good. So not the best to bring in. Who else? Maybe Rotos. I've seen a lot of people use Rotos to kill the ads, but he's in lifesteal set right now. And if he doesn't get his HP up fast enough, he'll just die from the dragon. I'm just thinking this guy to kind of bring in a lot of heals, block buffs, doesn't do a ton of damage. So maybe not him. This guy, okay, so we were testing out him. I think he could do it. Honestly, he's very fast on this build. He's up to 92k HP, 2200 defense, 236. I think I had him up to 250 when I had other gear on him. But 236 speed and then 412 resistance. We want his resistance really high because we want his skill, this, to be on our champion. So it provides healing, it provides shields, and it provides his passive heals by 25% of the damage inflicted from the shield. He can also extend the shields. He can remove any random debuff from allies. So like, and he puts an HP burn as well on the ads or the boss. So this is a very good champion. I think could help you out. We geared him up for War Master because his shield actually procs War Master. So when the dragon hits, procking War Master. When the ads hit, procs War Master. Chance to counter attack. Kind of all the fun stuff, right? So I think this guy could also be used as a healer as long as you have the resistance for it. But HP, speed, resistance, HP. But he is booked out. This is one of the guys. Oh, I'm sorry, he's not booked out. This one's booked out, so we can get down to 3-turn cooldown. I don't want to waste any more books on this, but I really wanted this, and we actually happened to land this twice. So I wanted this to get down to 3-turn cooldown, which we did. So we stopped booking them. Maybe Bad L in resistance set. Might be able to do it, providing all that heals, taking away buffs. Poisons don't really matter. I think he's immune to poisons. But maybe Bad L in a, because he's already in a Stalwart set, but Stalwart and resistance. Get like ignoring the accuracy because you don't need accuracy for him, but at least have him do damage because on his AoE he heals, and then this one can take off buffs and put up the continuous heal. So I think Bad L could also be another person that you can sub out for that person. Who else? Oh, Vrask. So we were gonna go over Vrask. A lot of people are using. He's an epic orc champion. I think she might be good too. The Aniri. So there's a lot of good champions that you could sub out for Warlord if you don't have Warlord. Really people that can just bring stuff to the table by heals. Try Skull Crusher for some counterattack, but he died because of his ally protect. So I kind of took that off the table. Where is Vrask? Vrask. He's only level 50. I use him in Faction Wars right here. So Vrask has, you don't need a resistance on him. You just want him to do his A1, but he's got an A1 that heals. Attacks one enemy, fills champion's turn made by 20% if it's critical. You need him to have a critical hit, so you need 100% crit rate. But heals by, all allies by 10% of the max HP. So basically, you want him as much HP as possible, as much speed, and 100% crit. Doesn't really matter how much damage he does. It's all based off if he crits. If he crits, heals all allies by 10% of his max HP, which is how you're able to kind of get around those stupid other people's max HP. It's his max HP. So if he's up to 90k HP with 100% crit, you're going to heal your team by a lot. All right. So we don't really care about this. It's all about him just running up and doing that. So Vrask is probably the #1 champion I would replace Warlord with. If you don't have Warlord or Narag, use Vrask. Masteries, he has no masteries, but I would go down to the heals, provide more heals, and maybe the defensive route. So defensive and heals with a stalwart set and a mortal set or speed, like just to get his speed up a lot. But we might gear him next time around. They might reduce the dragon's hardness. This was a very, very, very hard champion or Doom Tower to beat. So hopefully this helped you guys out, because there's a lot of videos of, you know, obviously whales doing it and stuff like that. I wanted to show you guys you don't need 250 plus speed. You just need the stalwart gear and some pretty good epic champions right here. Right, but there's a lot of other suggestions you might be able to use. So guys, thanks for clicking on the video. The Doom Tower is over, I think, today. So hopefully you'll watch this and get ready for next time, the Doom Tower. But we're going to do a Griffin video next. We got the recorded Rotos, I think, is needed. Not needed, but like, if you have Rotos, we're going to do a Rotos video on it. And then we got the clan boss. So we are recruiting for the DirtBag Nation clan. So we're getting 2 clans built. One's already built. It's going to be the main clan, DirtBag Nation DBN5, I think, DBN5, if you want to search for it. And then join our Discord so that way you guys can win some account takeovers, talk, ask questions, help each other out, stuff like that. You guys, I appreciate it. Good luck with everything. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you in another video soon.